I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay, so from my video about tips for new counsellors, I've had some people reach out to me with even more questions, so I'm going to try and answer them. I was just doing some university work, but I've literally hit a brick wall, so I thought I'm going to do this, take a step away from my university work and just film this it's going to be a really quick video, just answering like maybe like 5 or 6 questions that people have asked me. The first question was about the first couple of weeks of camp. So when you arrive at camp, obviously the kids aren't there yet. The first week is like training week and induction week and all that sort of stuff. So it mainly consisted of us sat at the benches watching presentations and making notes, and sometimes the counsellors from Manitou, the brother camp, came over and we did like training activities and like practices during each session. Sometimes we broke off into our individual like activity groups, so like I was in the theatre, so I went with all the theatre people and we made like a game plan sort of. Some people planned out what sessions they were going to do, what they were going to teach the kids, but because I was in the play, I found out what plays we were doing, when they were, how that was going to look, and it was a lot at first because it's just, they just throw so much information at you and then they go. Like, another question was asking about settling into camp. So settling into camp, I thought would be really difficult, but it was actually way easier. So the way it works is when you arrive, so I arrived really late at night at like 8 p.m. When you arrive, you get given a cabin, and you go live with that cabin for the induction week with about 4 or 5 other counsellors, maybe 6 or 7 depending like what the situation is, and you basically just live as if you would normally. Like, you just go sleep there and you get ready with everyone. It gives you an opportunity to get comfortable with people and to meet new people, and that like helped in a way because I knew what I was doing when the kids arrived, so I settled in really quick, and I got kind of lucky with the people I were with. They mainly were veterans, so they knew what they were doing, which helped me settle in very quickly because I was one of the last people to arrive in the cabin, because say like the waterfront staff, they all come an extra week early so that they can do all their water training and stuff and like lifeguard training. Meeting staff and other counsellors. So when you first arrive, because mine was like literally in the middle of the night, there was like no one there, but when you first arrive, you go collect your uniform, you go sign in, let them know you've actually turned up, and then at that point, that's when I met Stacey. Stacey is lovely. She's the one who did my interview, and she was just like, "Oh, Charlotte, it's really nice to see you." I genuinely did not expect her to remember who I was, but she did. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, your hair's so long," because I have like ridiculously long hair. And that became like a personality trait at camp. All of my kids were going, "Charlotte, cut your hair, cut your hair." I was like, no. Anyway, she was like, "Oh, your hair's so long, it's so pretty." I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And she was like, "Oh, have you seen Jess yet?" Because Jess I knew from before camp. Like, she brought me into camp. I was like, "No, not yet, I haven't seen her." But yeah, it was really easy to meet people. They also do a lot of icebreaker activities in induction week or training week. I don't know what to call it. We'll call it training week. We did one where we had to throw a ball to someone and remember their name, and we did one where we just literally stood up with the microphone and was like, "Hi, I'm Charlotte, I'm from Manchester, England. I have just left my first year of university studying psychology, and I'm going to be doing theatre productions." And then you pass it on. So you do get to know people really quickly, and we do like practice circle times because every night you do a circle time with the kids. So we did a practice circle time, and the topic was something you like about the person across from you and stuff like that. So it's a little bit awkward at first, but you get used to it really quick and you get to know everyone very quickly. what did the first couple of days look like? I've already said this, so I'll talk more about the first couple of days when the kids get there. So just before the kids arrive, we do camp trucking, which is you get all of the massive bags, you go unpack them all, and you get the cabin ready for the kids so that it feels more like homely for them. And then I think you do that after you've done Deco Cab. Deco Cab is where you decorate the entire cabin in a theme, and you can choose a theme, but you have to include your animal. So I was in the panda cabin, and we did Candyland. So we just made everything look as fun and colourful as humanly possible, and that was what the kids were so excited to see. So when you go collect the kids, they come off the buses, or their parents drop them off. So it depends on where you've been placed, but I was just like holding the cabin flag. So sometimes you get called over, like, can someone from the pandas cabin please come to the front because there's a kid arrived with their parents. So I did that. I went and collected a kid, and then I just went around them, all the like little stations. So there's like a medical check, a lice check, there's handing in your devices because the kids aren't allowed devices, and we're not either, but we're allowed to keep them. And there's like signing in and all this sort of stuff. So we did that. So like I literally went to every single station with this one girl, and then I was like, okay, here's some activities to do while we wait for some more people. And then all they wanted to do was go and see the cabin. They were like, can we go see the cabin? How have you decorated it? Did you win? And we were like, yeah, we won Deco Cab. But yeah, so, and then it takes the kids a while to settle in, some of them longer than others, which is understandable. But yeah, overall, you just need to get them into a routine. As soon as they're in a routine, perfect, like flying colours. How did I cope with being away? So this one I feel like a lot of people will be asking about, but the way I coped was I found something to do in my free time. So I made bracelets, and I got like semi-decent at it. I can like follow a pattern online and stuff. So that just like, honestly, you're too busy to really be worrying about home. I don't want it to sound like it's like full on or anything, but so you are very busy throughout the day. You get like 3 breaks throughout the day. Usually what I do in those breaks is I go and call my parents or my sister in the staff lounge, because there's Wi-Fi in the staff lounge, and then I make bracelets, watch TV, eat some snacks, all that sort of stuff. So you just need to like keep yourself busy, find a little hobby to do. I'm really glad I found making bracelets, because I would be so bored without making bracelets. Like I literally made every single one of my kids a bracelet, and then some. Like I was just constantly doing it. Someone told me you will never get to speak to your parents like at all. I was like, what? Like that sounds horrible, but it's not like that at all. You can speak to your parents every single day, because you always have at very least 2 breaks a day where you can go sit in the staff lounge and call your parents if you want. I always FaceTime them. Honestly, it's nothing to worry about. I don't know why that girl said that. I guess she just didn't want to phone home. Like, I don't know. So the last question I'm going to talk about is, did I get nervous? I was terrified. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I was so scared. It felt like everyone already knew each other. And you find out what the groups are very, very quickly. I was so nervous for the kids to arrive. I thought they were going to hate me. I thought I was going to have the biggest troublemakers. I did have the biggest troublemaker, but it was alright. Overall, it was alright. I was so nervous though. I was like, my heart was pounding. It was also my first time travelling alone, so it was like super scary. But honestly, as soon as I got into a routine, amazing. So great experience. But honestly, those nerves beforehand, like I was sat in the airport like, oh my god, everyone's gonna hate me. I'm not gonna know what I'm doing. I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna have to go home early, and it was awful. But yeah, as soon as I got there and I got used to it, it was really fun. It was amazing. So that's everything I'm going to talk about today. I hope this video was useful. If you have any more questions, DM me on Instagram. That's how some people have reached out. And I really like the fact that you guys are reaching out to me. Like, I never thought that would happen. But yeah, I hope this was useful. I feel like I spoke really fast and I was just blabbing and I just said the same thing over and over again. So yeah, if there's any more questions, just DM me on Instagram.